We've been talking about the cost of different things. So today, we're going to talk about different methods of payment, advantages, disadvantages, and what it means. So we're going to just go down these rows. But these are all common methods of payment, and we're going to compare them. So cash, using a person's own money in a physical form, right? So dollar bills, coins. The advantages of cash is it lets you feel the expense, right? You can physically see the money leaving your hand. You feel the expense of the purchase, right? So if you have, $20 in your wallet, you've used that $20, you can actually see it go out of your wallet. And it may help you stay on budget. Okay, you have some people take and they put cash in envelopes and they say, this is my money for groceries. This is my money for, fun things. And once the money is gone out of that envelope, then they're done for that month. Disadvantages to cash, okay, especially in today's world, is you cannot make online purchases, right? There's no way. It has to be in person if you're going to use cash. So you can't make online purchases. The only proof you have of a purchase is a receipt. Whereas if you order online, you would have an email or some kind of an invoice. This can be less quick to pay with because you have to dig it out, you have to count the change, meaning it is less convenient. Okay. Other things about cash, you want to keep cash safe. Keep it in a safe place. You need to keep receipts. I spelled that wrong. It's E-I, not I-E. Sorry. I teach math. Keep your receipts for purchases because that's going to be your only evidence, okay? So that is cash. Credit cards, so we've been talking about credit cards as well. Credit cards, that means you're using a small plastic card issued by a financial company, meaning a bank or credit union, something like that. And you're going to use it to borrow money that you have to repay later. So the advantages of this, we've talked a little bit about this in class. This allows you to build good credit. Right? We talked about charge a little bit, pay it off. Some cards you can earn rewards. Sometimes when you buy things, you earn like airline miles or you earn cash back, things like that. Then we can also, it's super convenient. Right? I spelled that wrong too. CONVENIENT. Super easy just to swipe, and this is good in emergencies, right? If we have, something comes up, you don't have enough cash on hand, you can always use your credit card. Some disadvantages that we've talked about, you have to pay interest when you don't pay it off. Pay interest on your balance, right? So if you charged, $200 and you only paid $100, you still have to pay interest on that extra 100. It is very easy to overspend with a credit card because you're just swiping and swiping and swiping. You can also have, there are fees. Sometimes there are fees for late fees, there are annual fees for certain credit cards and things like that. Other things, remember we've talked about you can avoid interest by paying the whole balance. Right, that also helps you build that good credit. Only buy what you know you can pay off. In a timely manner, right? You don't want to charge, and you get all those extra fees, all that extra interest. So make sure you're going to be able to pay that off, even if it's not the next month, maybe soon. Debit cards are like credit cards. Again, you're using a small plastic card issued by a bank or a credit union, and it will immediately transfer your own money out of your account. Remember, this one is immediate. This is once a month. This is super easy to use. You have to have that PIN number, that personal ID number, when using it. So it's fairly safe as long as no one has your PIN number. You can only spend what you have, kind of like cash, right? You only have $100 in your account. You're only going to be able to spend $100. You can get cash at ATMs, right? So if you end up needing cash, you can use your debit card to get that. Disadvantages, right? You overdraft fees, right? Sometimes we get swipe happy and we're like, woohoo, swipe, 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 and then you've overspent what you had. So be careful there. Other things, you need to keep your PIN secret, right? And you need to report lost or stolen cards immediately. You can that can actually go for credit cards as well. You also need to check your balance, right? Check account balance frequently or often to avoid overspending, right? And most banks and have a app where you can do that. Online banking is using that internet. We all love the internet. To manage your money, you can make transfers between accounts, you can pay bills online, you can make deposits if you get money or you get a check for something. This is an easy way to pay bills. Used to, a lot of people would write checks and have to mail them in the snail mail. Easy way to pay bills and manage money. Right, you can see all of the money, where it's going, where it's coming. This saves trips to the bank. You don't even have to go to the bank to deposit a check anymore. A lot of apps, you can take a picture of it. Right? And so it's very app friendly usually for on-the-go people. Disadvantages: computer hackers, and identity theft. Are threats, right? You need to make sure you keep all your logins and your passwords safe. Some of them have deposit limitations, right? You can only deposit this many things online. Then you might have to make a trip to the bank. Other information about online banking: use a secure network, right? You don't want to be on some free Wi-Fi doing your banking. Use strong passwords, right? You don't want to use your birthday. You want to use something that no one's going to figure out, but that you'll remember. Do not ever give your account info over the phone. Okay, unless it's the bank that you called. All right, so those are all different things about types of payments. So let's look a little bit on the back at got some vocabulary here that we need to check out. For each situation, identify which form of payment is being described. And we've got cash, credit card, debit card, online banking. What I would like you to do is pause the video right now, try this, and then restart it and see how you did. So letter A, Forrest bought a pair of shoes by swiping his card at the store. He'll actually pay it at the end of the month. Since it's the end of the month, this is a credit card. She logs into her computer, uses her bank's website to submit a payment for her electricity. That's going to be online banking. Fernando drove to his bank, made a withdrawal, and drove to the mall to purchase an outfit. So if he's withdrawing from the bank and paying at the mall, right, so that's going to be cash. Ellie went out to eat with her friends, paid by swiping a card. So that's either going to be a credit or a debit. The cost of her meal was immediately taken out. So that's going to be a debit card if it's immediate. Ryan needed to deposit a check. Instead of driving to the bank, he snaps a picture. That's going to be online banking. Jaden purchased an $800 road bike, and he ended up paying $892.15 because of interest. So that's going to be a credit card. Julie purchased a movie ticket and popcorn, and she got change, so that's going to be cash. So hopefully you did pretty well there. Evaluate each scenario and give advice to reflect on the various methods of payment. Every method of payment has its pros and cons. List what you think might be the greatest risk for each type. Cash, you can lose it, right? It can be lost or stolen, so be cautious there. Credit card and debit card overspending is a very common issue. And online banking hackers are an issue. She has both a credit card and debit card, and she's having a hard time knowing when to use her credit card versus her debit card. What are some suggestions you would give her? So let's make a little table here. Credit, debit. When do you think she should use these different things? Maybe she uses the credit card for maybe larger purchases, but not so large that she can't pay it off. Pay in a timely manner. But her debit card would be good for staying in budget, right? So this would be like for everyday things like groceries, gas, those kind of things. We've got Brielle, works at a fast food restaurant. She noticed that people who are paying with credit cards end up spending more on average than people paying with cash. Why do you think that is the case? Remember we talked about you can feel the cash. Cash is visible, right? You see it disappear when you spend it, right? So you tend to not spend as much. right? You like seeing all that money. An unknown number calls you to congratulate you on a $500 gift card to their new store. They ask for your online account information. Do you respond? You can hang up. You can say no thank you and hang up. So you don't want to give any of that information. So now what I'm going to ask you to do today is to go through, read the scenario, put your letters in the box that match. So you might have multiple letters in these boxes for different representations. All right. I hope you have a great day.